Hello everybody, Kane here today with another episode of our zoo series, and today we are, as promised, working on some rhino enclosures. Not all of them. I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep these two here, but we've certainly got these two areas to go. I'm kind of just not necessarily all that excited about the amount of work this is going to take, but we're going to try and get both of them done. There's going to be a lot more cuts this video just because I am probably going to have to spend a fair amount of this just using World Edit to try and get the terrain to look good, and then fixing this into the rest of the terrain, and you get what I mean, but that is the goal for today. I'm not sure exactly which rhinos I'm going to use either. I'll probably just figure out which ones I like the look of the best and go from, well, that fit the area as well, I guess, but so we probably won't throw like the Javan or Indian rhino in here, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of the plan. I have expanded these out a little bit since last time, so we got a bit more space in here. I'm not overly sure exactly how the terrain's gonna look. If I want to make it more like the elephant enclosure where we have a lot of, well, it's just like sunk down into the ground, or if we want to do, I don't know, more like the hippo enclosure, where I guess it's still sunk into the ground to a degree, but less so. We'll figure it out when we get there, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna get started on the terrain, and I'll bring you guys back when I actually have something done. So it's been a day since I made the intro to this video, and this is what we have. It's kind of funny sometimes. This is a completely like random tangent real quick, I guess, but it really does make me laugh how sometimes like clips between, or the time between clips could be anywhere from like, I think at the shortest about 10 minutes to literally like a week between clips. And I find that to be hilarious for some reason. I don't really know why I find that to be hilarious. Maybe it's just because I've got poor time management skills, or because my creativity is, I mean, what's a good comparison for how my creativity often works? I guess it's like, I would almost say it's like it's kind of like rain, right? It's like rain in Arizona. There we go. That's a good description of it. When I have creativity, there is like boundless creativity, and I do everything. And then it just disappears for like 6 months, and I'm like, well, what do I do now? And then I get creative again. Anyway, this is what we have. It isn't the most amount of stuff ever, and mostly that's because I've been trying to figure out exactly how this area is gonna look. It's proving to be interesting to build, if not slightly difficult. So we have this area right here, and I will say, for those of you who are about, and like everybody, you know what? I feel like I should just make a video like that. Maybe, you know what? Let me know, guys. The few of you who have made it this far in the video, yeah, let me know. Would you guys like would you guys be interested in me doing like a Q&A type thing for like, I don't know, either I guess a general channel one, or we could do just like a zoo specific, like a zoo series specific Q&A. I don't know. You guys can let me know if you'd be interested in seeing stuff like that. But yeah, this exhibit I think is a pretty good size. I'm sure someone will complain about the size being like this exhibit not being big enough, but we're only gonna put like 2 rhinos in here, and maybe even just 1, since believe it or not, people, rhinos tend to be more solitary. I think. Are there any herding rhinos? There might be. There might very well be some rhino that does herds, or like proper herds, you know, where it's like 20 or so animals. I am not currently aware of any rhinos that do that, but you know what? If there are, someone can let me know in the comments down below. You can correct me and tell me I'm kind of stupid for not knowing that. But you know what? At any rate, yeah, I think we're only gonna put like 2 rhinos in here, maybe even just 1, because I think my local zoo only has 1 rhino in about that size of an exhibit, so I think that should be okay. This exhibit over here has proved more difficult because, well, actually both of these. The big issue I'm kind of running into right now is the fence. We've got this, if you've seen some of my other stuff, I do kind of like doing these narrow walkways between 2 exhibit fences, because, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of got a cool look to it. The problem with it is, I don't think this looks very nice. I have exhibits. I've built exhibits in the past where it looks good, but those are usually planned out far in advance, and I don't think this looks very good. In fact, I honestly think it might be more worthwhile to... And it's kind of funny, because I was like, oh yeah, I really want to do a big fence for the African elephants. But this fence, I think it's going to look better if I just make it like these terracotta walls I've been doing. So yeah, we might end up just doing that. Also, I know I'm explaining more stuff than I'm actually building, but I think that's kind of how this episode's gonna go, because I haven't decided what's going over here yet, or how I'm gonna do this. Because what was it? We have the black rhinoceros, the white rhinoceros, and then we have, what else do we have? We have like the Indian rhinoceros. We have like 2 versions of the Indian rhinoceros. I know one of them's, it's like the Malayan rhino or something like that. Or is that the Javan rhino? I don't remember exactly. You know, I'm gonna look it up in between this clip and the next clip. But basically, we have like 3 Asiatic rhinos. We do also have a woolly rhinoceros. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be using it because it doesn't really make much sense. But basically, we have like 2 African rhinos and then like 3 Asiatic rhinos. And I'm honestly not sure if I want to put them over here and just make this the mega rhino zone, or if they should go over here and instead we fill this with like, what animals do we have left for Africa? We have, I know I have gorillas, and there was just an animal, leopards. We could do a leopard over here and maybe like a gorilla. I feel like the leopard could fit okay, but gorillas, I want to do more of like a tropical exhibit. And unfortunately, that's also kind of more difficult to do, because I guess that would kind of have to go back here? Maybe? I don't really know. You know what? We'll figure that out. And one last thing before we continue on with the build, and maybe I could just... Well, I don't actually know what I'm doing, so we'll just place some stone down, I guess. Would you guys like a world tour at some point soon? I keep thinking like, oh, I should do one. I should do a world tour at some point, but I'm also like, I don't feel like I've built enough yet, but... Yeah, let me know. Do you guys want to see a world tour? I feel like I show off most of the zoo pretty often, so I don't know if it's like the most interesting thing yet, but yeah, we could definitely do one of those pretty soon if you guys are interested in that. I always like those videos. Plus, well, actually, I really like doing world tour videos, if anything, because they're really easy to record, because I don't have to make anything, and they, I guess from a more, what would that be? Business-minded perspective, world tours do really well in general, because people would rather watch me just show off my worlds than watch me build them in general, unless it's like a really, you know, like hyped up exhibit, I guess, you know, like what would be like an animal that's not been done before, that's like really cool looking. I'm trying to think, what was one of the more recent ones? I feel like it was the hippo. I know the hippo exhibit did really well. But yeah, no, I don't remember which. There was one exhibit in this world that did super duper well, and I was really surprised by that. But yeah, anyway, if you guys would be interested in a world tour, let me know in the comments. I'd totally be down for doing that. I think it'd be kind of fun. I always enjoy those world tour videos. They're cool. It's fun to take a look back and see what we've been working on and how far it's come along. And this is a much taller shelter than I think I thought it was. Well, anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna get back to building. So I'll bring you guys back in, hopefully, when I've kind of figured out either A, if we're doing any more rhinos over here, or B, when the exhibits are a bit more fleshed out. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, so we've made it a bit farther along in the progress. This is quickly turning into a much more expansive project, even though I'm currently still just doing 2 exhibits, because I'm thinking we're gonna leave these for a different video, because although it's cool and I really like this shape, I feel like I'm gonna need to spend a completely just massive amount of time trying to figure out how to make that work and what exhibits to make those. If you guys have any comments or suggestions for that, feel free to leave them. I'd love to know what you guys want to see for that. But here we are with these 2. So, my goodness, this is quick. Like I said, this is quickly turning into a much more expansive project. So for one, this all changed. I tore out all the fences here. We've got this big terracotta barrier now, very similar to what we have between the elephants and the lions, in that, you know, it's just going to be full of plants, which I think it's kind of a cool motif we've kind of got going now. So, like, all of these African exhibits, they're separated from each other by these large walls that have these, like, grass, or this large amount of foliage on them. I don't know, I feel like it's kind of cool looking. And yeah, we've got that. We'll have one there between the elephants and this rhino exhibit, between these two rhino exhibits, and between this exhibit and whatever is going over here, if anything goes over there. But yeah, I think that's kind of looking really cool. I'm pretty happy with that. What else did I get done? I started making something. I don't know what this is. I don't even know if it's going to stay, but I think there could be something cool there. I've got the shelters started. So I've made both these shelters rather large, for it being really just for one animal, to kind of add a bit of extra space in. I think, if you're wondering what this little thing's meant to denote, it's the separation between, like, the worker area and where the animal sleeps. So I think that'll be okay, because I think this is the exhibit I'm only going to put one in, and then this one will have two. I just don't know which rhino's going where. So yeah, that's for future Caden to figure out. He gets to decide which rhino goes in which enclosure. But I think everything's starting to kind of come together. This exhibit, I think, could use a bit more space, which I think might mean I just kind of move this wall back a bit more. Maybe move it back to about here, and then kind of drag that along to, like, that point or something. We'll kind of see what happens with it. But in terms of shapes and the general layout of the enclosures, I think we're looking pretty good here. I think it's starting to come together pretty well. Shelters are probably going to be pretty similar to basically every other shelter we built in this area. So some probably roof looking like this with a lot of with a lot of trapdoors in it to let some natural light in. I do think I want to try something over with the rhinos that I haven't done in the rest of the African area, but have we done it in any other part of the zoo? I mean, I guess we technically have that there, and in the jaguars, and then I guess this area here, but we don't have a lot of covered viewing areas, and I think people have been suggesting those, so I might try and do some, like, I was gonna say some pavilion style, but that's not really what I'm thinking here. Like, so just some, like, tarps or something. I keep saying tarps, and every time I try and make one, it turns out worse and worse. But you know what? We might try and just brave it and try and make something good looking. But try and make some sort of covering for these walkways over here, because I mean, it is in direct sunlight, and you know, I feel like this could be a nice area to throw some, you know. But anyway, that's about where we are. So I'm going to get back to work. I think the goal is probably going to be expand this exhibit out a bit more, so adding a bit more space to it. I think since I am only planning on putting one rhino in here, it doesn't need to be that much more. I don't need to expand it that much more, but it definitely does need to be a bit larger. And then I'll probably just try and work on the shelters and finishing up some plant work and going from there. So I'll bring you guys back when there's, I don't know, when these look more like finished exhibits. I did it. I built the shelter. This is my new favorite shelter we've made in the zoo. I'll be honest, I don't know if it's a very zoo-like shelter. It honestly kind of reminds me more of a barn. No, actually, you know what it reminds me of? You know, I was about to say, like, oh yeah, everyone would know this, but I'm starting to realize that's quickly becoming quite an old game, and I'm not sure how many newer people remember it. But Zoo Tycoon 2. I feel like there was a giraffe shelter. I mean, I know it didn't look exactly like this, but it was a very barn-like structure, and I feel like I've kind of gotten that look here. Also, when I say I finished the barn, I haven't finished. I haven't detailed out the exterior all the way around, and I haven't done the interiors yet. But yeah, this is our shelters for the two rhinos, and I really like it. I don't know, it's very much fit with this kind of thing I've been trying to go for, which is trying to make each exhibit have some unique thing to it. And I think this series, it's been shelters. Like, each one looks, you know, a lot of them are based off the same kind of pattern. I mean, this basic kind of, well, I guess, what would you call this? Like, wooden frame with a spruce ceiling and a lot of oak trapdoor, like slat shading type things. We've done a lot of these, but I feel like each one's kind of had its own unique twist on it. Oh gosh, my throat's a bit dry because it's like 1 billion degrees outside and my room is starting to heat up like a sauna. I mean, this one and the hippo one are pretty similar, I guess. I think I've generally done a bit better at avoiding the shelters looking the same since then. But yeah, no, I just really like this one. I think it looks really cool. The inside of it doesn't look fantastic because I haven't done the interior really just yet, and it needs a lot of work. But overall, I think it's turning out really well. Also, I don't know why, but I was like, I feel like, well, we've got this outdoor water area here, right? And usually that would be it. Like that's it. Like if I want water in the enclosure, but I don't want to do a bunch of kind of like we had in the hyena exhibit where we have just these water little areas instead of, you know, ponds, or we have ponds instead of water troughs. I was kind of like, I don't know, I feel like we'll do like a big mud pit around the water, which means, you know, the animal probably might not be wanting to drink out of that water necessarily. So yeah, I don't know. I felt like having these water troughs in the shade made some sense. I don't know, maybe it doesn't. It made sense in my head, so therefore I did it. Also, this one has a slightly larger water trough, mostly because there's just a bit more space in this one than in this one for something like that. I think in this one there's definitely going to be a bit more like hay or whatever, but we'll see what happens. I also expanded out this exhibit a little bit more, so it goes a bit farther back, so it's got a lot more space to it. And yeah, I'm just really happy with this shelter. I think it looks really cool. I don't know, it's got this like really cool barn look to it, which, you know, I feel like kind of fits. You know, like last episode I was talking about how sometimes it's kind of fun to, you know, try and make a bit of story with your enclosures. And I like this one, or the hyena one, because, well, like I said, it kind of looks like maybe the reptile house used to be bigger, right? You know, it looks like, you know, maybe there was this whole other wing attached to it at one point. But then it got, you know, maybe it fell apart, or it got, you know, like part of it got broken in a storm or something like that. And instead of just rebuilding it as a building, they just repurposed that area as some hyena exhibits. I don't know. I mean, you know, does it make a lot of sense? Not necessarily. Does it look cool? Yes, it does. And I like that. And you have somehow escaped. You can live out here for now. You know what? You get to wander the zoo for the moment. But yeah, anyway, that's about where we are right now. I'm gonna get to work on just kind of finishing up the interiors of both the shelter and the enclosures, so getting plants and getting the terrain work done. And yeah, and then I think that'll be about all for today. Oh, the sunshades, I forgot about that. So I'll get those done as well, and yeah, we'll see what it looks like. So I'll bring you back when that's all ready. Okay, I have realized by this point, I should have recorded another clip in between this one and the last one, but I'm basically done with the area. This is our 2 rhino exhibits, and I think it looks so much better now that it's actually kind of like been detailed out. We got all of our grasses in, we got the terrain in. I built these like muddy areas down by the water in both the enclosures, which look really cool. I probably need to explain these. These are meant to be like scratching posts, because I don't know, I felt like that was kind of a cool idea. And in fact, in this one over here, I put, I mean, it's Minecraft, so it's not gonna look fantastic, I guess, but I've tried to make like a tire on a string that the rhinos could knock around. I don't know why, I just thought that was a fun little detail. And yeah, I don't know what this is. I built it, I haven't figured out what it is. It may end up being like a storage zone, but yeah, it just exists for right now, so don't question it too hard. As for the interiors, I got most of it kind of dealt with. This hasn't really been decorated for the keepers area, and I haven't worked on the pathway back here yet. I got a couple ideas for what I might do back here, but nothing like tremendously interesting. We got the other entrance to the other exhibit shelter over here, and this is the other one. It's not quite as, you know, spacious, I guess, as the top of that one is, but I felt like I should try and make them a little bit different. And yeah, anyway, I really like these. I really like, actually, the fact that we've got the trees up here instead of in the actual enclosure, because if I remember correctly, rhinos knock trees over. And in fact, it does make me realize the elephants probably shouldn't have as many trees in here, or if they are in here, I should have done what I did in my old Indian elephant exhibit, which was build like a little barrier thing, basically. Like I had the elephants down in the exhibit, basically, and then we built, you know, I can actually just make a quick demonstration. We put like something like this, basically, and then I need a quick slab block. Did this, so you know the elephants couldn't technically get in, and then we just kind of put all the trees in like that. And I kind of wonder if I might do that again in this one, if I ever come back and renovate it, because I've realized there are definitely some animal exhibits where trees don't really make sense. The hippo one doesn't make sense with trees, but I accidentally deleted all those trees, so that one's okay, I guess. Also, I think I figured out how the flamingos were getting out. I think it was the rock that was right there, so I got rid of that. So I don't think they should escape anymore, because there were like 8 of them running around, and it was kind of funny. In fact, a couple of them were in the elephant enclosure. Anyway, rhino time. So which one do I want for which? I think my black rhinoceros is slightly smaller, and I don't actually know which exhibit is bigger. I guess it's probably this one that's a little bit larger, so I guess we'll throw them in here. So I think I've got it set to the right one. 1 and 2. And yeah, they're okay. And then we will go to, I think it's number 4 is the white rhinoceros. So we will throw him right there. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, part of there is definitely part of me that really just wants to throw another rhino in here. In fact, I'd love to throw multiple rhinos in there, but I feel like, considering rhinos tend to be more solitary, that this kind of makes a bit more sense. Especially since this one is a slightly smaller enclosure, we should only throw 1 rhino in. And this is a much bigger one, so I feel like two works okay. They do look fantastic. I have to say, Untamed Wilds, they've got some very well animated creatures. I like the legs on these guys. And if we can find one, if one of them wants to lay down, they got a really cool pose for that. But I don't know if any of them are. Usually they walk around a little bit and then they'll just go to sleep, because that tends to be the case with these, since I've been working a lot with these from animals with this with animals from this mod recently. You guys gonna sleep? No? Yes? Maybe so? Well, if I maybe we can show that off in the zoo tour. We'll see. Anyway, that's all for today. Oh yeah, we did get the cover for the walkway up, and I actually really like it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Oh, and how did you manage? Their hitbox. Their hitbox is pretty big, isn't it? Okay, so note to self: make sure leaves are not too close to the edge of the enclosure, or they can escape. And that's probably the last thing you really want, is a colossal rhinoceros just running around a zoo. Like that. No, okay, let's get a lead. No, you're coming back. We can't have you running around out there. It's not safe for you or the visitors. So yeah, anyway, that is that's our rhinos enclosure. I have to say, I think these I think it's kind of cool to, and we'll definitely do this in a tour or in a little bit, I guess, but it's kind of fun to see like how much the style of the zoo has changed from there to these last 2 builds. I think these last 2 are some of the best we've done. I'm really happy with them. Anyway, that's all for today, folks. So thank you for watching. Hope you've all enjoyed this and are looking forward to more. Let me know what you guys would like to see. I think the plan is a bear for next episode, or the next animal. Oh, there's the rhino. Yes. I love, oh, he stopped, laying down, I guess. But yeah, I love that little pose. Anyway, yeah, I think we might be doing a bear as the next animal, if we don't do a world tour next episode, I guess. But anyway, thank you all for watching again. Hope you've all enjoyed, and until next time, guys. See ya.